Guys, it has been the hottest of minutes since I've done one of these. I think it's actually been, I looked it up earlier, I think it's actually been about 3 months since we did a 24-hour readathon. And the reason for that being, it's actually really hard to film. They're fun, but like, I wouldn't say I love doing them. I like doing them. I think I like the idea of doing them more than actually doing them. And whenever I've finished, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And then I always do it again. But it is now summer and it is sunny outside. And so in my head, I can spend the majority of this time reading outdoors. And that I think is going to be a game changer. Anyway, hello, welcome back, welcome if you're new. My name's Flo and today we are doing a 24-hour readathon. Here we have the monthly TBR. We have got Carrie Soto is back, Flawless, Everyone You Hate Is Going to Die and Other Comforting Thoughts, Love from a Stranger, The One Memory of Flora Banks, The Complete Works of Sarah Kane, One of Us is Lying, and The Chalk Man. We are going to try and stick to that TBR, I think, entirely for this video. Flawless, 1000% getting read in this video. Probably not first, I might save that for when I'm tired because I feel like it'll be an easier read, but it is getting read today. I'm so excited. It's currently 8:45 in the morning. I'm going to start this at 9. Kind of want to start with The One Memory of Flora Banks. This is YA romance, I believe, and it's about this girl who, she's got like some sort of amnesia, and it says she kisses a boy and it's the first thing she's remembered since she was 10, but then the boy is gone. So I think it's like, yeah, some sort of like YA romance, which I feel like will just be like an easy one, hopefully, to fly through at the start of this challenge. Right, I will see you at 9. Okay, we have 22 hours, 20 minutes remaining. So we've been reading for an hour 40 and I have made it to page 74. So I'm probably like, what, a quarter into The One Memory of Flora Banks. It is not a romance. Sweetheart, it is not a romance. It's literally so much darker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was like a cute little YA romance. Like, she has amnesia and then she kisses a boy and it's the first thing she remembers. And like, kind of, but it's so much darker than that. So it's basically, it follows Flora Banks, who, she does have amnesia, and basically the writing style is, it feels very young, but it's because Flora basically, because everything she remembers is from 10 years old, that's the only knowledge she has of the world, she kind of basically has that mental age now, so she is very naive to a lot of things, and she kind of behaves like she's 10 but she's 17. And the guy who I like thought was going to be like the love interest, the cute little romance, he's actually really creepy and like it's not cute at all. I'm not gonna like explain too much about it because actually going into this really blind as it turns out, like I'm quite enjoying, like it's a very, very intriguing setup, but it's just like, I thought I was getting a cute little romance book and it's not that. I actually have a theory about, like, I don't even know if it's like a mystery. It kind of feels like a mystery, but I kind of have this theory about like why she has amnesia, but it's so dark and I'm like, this is a YA book. So I'm like, it's probably not that. But then this is like so much darker than I was expecting anyway. There are kind of like mystery subplots because there's this whole subplot of like, so her parents, the girl's parents, have basically left to take care of a sick brother, but we know that they're kind of like lying about certain things, so there's kind of like a mystery subplot there as well. But because like people treat her like a child and they like really like overly protect her and they don't tell her a lot of stuff, so because of that it kind of, you feel like there's all these mystery subplots going on, but possibly that's just like because you're inside her head and she doesn't really know what's going on a lot of the time. Anyway, as I say, we've now got, yeah, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I think I'm gonna move outside because it is starting to get really warm, so I'm gonna move outside and hopefully just power through and just read a bunch. It is quite a few hours later, so we have 19 hours 13 minutes left on the timer, which means we've been reading for like just under 5 hours. I've been outside for like ages, and don't get me wrong, vibes lovely, immaculate, but I don't think I was making very good progress. I've made it to page 183, so like 60% of the book, which I guess isn't awful. I just feel like I was reading really slowly because I had Smudge in the garden with me, and he kept like wandering off and like eating things he shouldn't be eating, or she kept just like disappearing into bushes, so I had to like go and check he was okay. Anyway, point being, I feel like progress was slow and I was kind of losing focus, so I have come back in and I've made a coffee. I don't know why we have a Mr. Grumpy mug, but we do. Fun fact about Mr. Man. It's not really a fun fact, I guess. But I want to get a Mr. Man tattoo. Probably not Mr. Grumpy, but I want to get like a row of like 4 of them. I'm thinking Mr. Tickle, kind of want Mr. Messy, but like I don't necessarily want a pink tattoo. Mr. Bump. I'm not sure about the other one. Oh, another fun, I guess I have a lot of fun facts about Mr. Man. Another fun fact about Mr. Man, I'm actually featured on the Mr. Man official Instagram page. Or I used to be, I don't know if I still am. It was during lockdown. I drew like a picture of Mr. Bump. It's not even a very good one. No, it's not good. It's not even like kind of good. It's bad. But they put it on their Instagram page, like their actual, like not the story, their actual page, like they reposted it. And I told that story to someone the other day and they said, oh, when you were a kid? And I said, no, I was 20. Anyway. That's all of my Mr. Man fun facts for you. Anyway, going back to the book, yeah, I'm about maybe like 65% of the way through. Like I guess like a contemporary fiction with like mystery elements, because you kind of follow Flora. Like the writing style is quite unique. It definitely reads really young, but it reads young because she's really young. Because it's also like the writing style is quite repetitive, because she keeps forgetting things. She will like write stuff down, and then like quite regularly her mind will like forget what's going on, and then it will kind of reset. So you do have this kind of like repetitive writing style where it's like she's reminding herself of like who she is, where she is, what she's trying to do, because she's kind of like on this mission to go and find Drake, who is the boy that she kissed. I'm still kind of really set on my theory of the like of all of it, of like the amnesia and like the stuff with Drake and stuff. But like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, surely it's not going to be that though. Because like I kind of hope it's not that, because like my theory is really dark, and like I mean this is a much darker book than I was expecting, but it is still YA, so I'm like, surely not. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna read up here for a bit, have some coffee, hopefully power through at the end of this book. So we've got another, yeah, we've got a bit over 100 pages, like 120-ish pages. So I'm hoping we can get that done within like, I feel like I was reading really slow outside, but I feel like once I've had coffee and like I can like focus inside, I feel like hopefully we can get that done within like the next 2-3 hours. Probably 2 hours. I'm sorry, it's me again. I just went scrolling through. I was scrolling through the Mr. Man page to try to find it. Firstly, probably most concerningly, I thought it was during lockdown. It was in 2021, so I cannot even blame this on like, oh, I was really going through it in lockdown. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not awful, but it's just like, they definitely reposted that thinking, oh, a child drew it. I was 21. Anyway, I just thought I would share that with everyone because it is funny. What are the comments saying? Someone said, this is a perfect reminder. That's the only comment, nobody else cared. I'll take it. Anyway, I'm gonna actually do some reading now. I finally finished. I finally finished the book. I feel like this took me so long. So we are at the 16 hours 30 minutes mark, which means it took us 7.5 hours. Okay, so firstly, my theory was wrong. My theory was very wrong, and honestly I'm kind of happy about it, because the more I thought about it, I was like, that's actually so dark. And like, while this is like not the cute little fluffy romance book I thought it was going to be, it wasn't like, it had dark themes, but it wasn't like the kind of book that's going to make you feel like really like sad and dark reading it. Maybe it will, I don't know. But like the ending specifically anyway definitely had that kind of like YA like hopeful feeling to it. This was such a unique concept. The writing style is definitely young, and again, that's because of the character. It's very much written in her voice, and she is very young. She's very like, she repeats herself a lot because she's like got this routine and she's trying to stick to it, and that really reflects in the writing style. But anyway, let's go to the book cart and pick our next book. We can pop you back up there. That is upside down. And then what do I want to start next? Because I am kind of in the mood for the Chalk Man, which is like a kind of horror, I think, which would actually be so rogue for me. But then I also kind of want to start Flawless. I might just have to do it. I've said a few times, obviously I just assume we all know what this is about at this point. It's like a cowboy romance. And I have said a few times, I'm a little apprehensive because I don't know if cowboy romance is going to be my thing. Like, I have never read one, never really had any intention on reading one. But everybody loves this book. Like, literally everybody. I haven't heard a single bad thing about this book. So I kind of just want to start it and see my feelings. So I think we might start this now. It is currently 4:30 in the afternoon. Debating going back outside, read for a few hours, read my silly cowboy romance book in the garden in the sunshine. That sounds beautiful. It is 6 p.m. now, so we are on 14 hours 50 left. So it's about an hour and a half since I last spoke to you. I'm on page 70 of Flawless. I am actually going to take the dog out for a walk. Just, I think I need to get out of the house, have a bit of a change of pace, so that I'm refreshed for an evening / night full of reading. Yeah, I won't talk too much on the book right now. I mean, for one thing, I'm literally only 70 pages in anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go out, listen to some of that while I'm walking, come back, and then we can discuss the book properly and have a good old catch up. I don't know. I'm excited to just get out of the house and have some fresh air and stop staring at a page because I'm kind of getting a headache. So yeah, I'm gonna go on a dog walk. It is a few hours later. It's currently 9:45. We have hit the halfway mark. We're a bit over. I have 11 hours 15 left on the challenge, and I've made it to page 219 of Flawless. So just over halfway. So I took Smudge for a bit of a walk, made some dinner, and then yeah, I've come back and I've just been reading for the last like 3 hours, and I'm kind of loving it. I was not expecting to swoon over a cowboy romance, and I kind of am, which is like embarrassing, but I don't care. It's so cute. Also, right, I actually do have a bone to pick. I have watched so many reviews of this book. So many, countless. Why have not one of you mentioned that literally like the premise of this book, the like inciting incident of this book is about a milk campaign? How has that never come up? Not one person I've seen talk about this book has mentioned the fact that the whole reason that this girl comes into this guy's life is because he says something about like, oh, he doesn't like milk, which same, completely fun fact, completely irrelevant, I have a phobia of milk. So when I read that, I was like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you, Rat. He like says something about like, oh, he doesn't like milk, and then that's like super controversial and everyone like hates him. I don't know. I just don't understand how that never came up in any of the reviews I've seen. Like, it's so silly. Other than that, because I actually do, even thinking about milk gives me like the heebie-jeebies. Anyway, I don't even want to think about it. Other than that, I am actually really, really enjoying this book. It's so cute. I do like as well, the Rhett feels like a sort of flawed main character. Like, not loads, but I do feel like in romance books, particularly like quite like fluffy fun romance books, normally the guys in them are just kind of like perfect. Which is like fun if you're in the mood for that, but you know me, I love a flawed main character, and I feel like Rhett has like moments where he's a bit like, doesn't always necessarily say the right thing, and like he sometimes like puts his foot in it and stuff, and I quite like that. I don't know, I'm really, really enjoying this, and I'm gonna go out and buy the rest of the series immediately. As I say, it is very nearly 10 o'clock, so my plan is to take my makeup off, to just read as much as physically possible tonight. Probably, no, not probably, I'm sorry, definitely, I am gonna go to bed, probably in a couple hours, because tomorrow night I am working until 3 AM, so like, I'm not doing it to myself, I can't stay up all night. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna read as much as possible tonight, and then we will pause the timer overnight and we will restart in the morning. Morning. It is the next day, so I can't even remember when I updated last night. I think I updated and said I was going to read in bed for a bit. I basically read until just before midnight. I did pretty good, honestly. I was quite happy with that. I know I had a clip earlier that basically showed when I restarted the timer. I think it was around 9-hour 45 mark. So basically I've read for another 2 hours this morning because we are now on 7 hours 44 remaining. And I finished flawless. I finished the second book. Basically had like 100 pages-ish left this morning and woke up, finished it. I feel like I haven't swooned over a romance book in actually like a hot minute. And the cowboy romance did it. Who would have thought? Literally, who would have thought? And I'm so excited for the second one. I actually don't know who is in the second one, and I kind of don't want to know. I half think it might be Winter, her sister, just because of how this book ended, but I don't know, and no one tell me because I don't want to know. But we have, as I say, just under 8 hours left of the challenge, which perfect amount of time to finish a third book. So let's move to the book cart. Okay, this is what we have got left. So, well, we've read that. I did say I wanted to read The Chalk Man, but I don't really want to read a horror right now. I could read Carrie Soto. Maybe I'll read this actually. This is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. Mcmanus, and I've had this described as The Breakfast Club meets YA murder mystery, which I love The Breakfast Club, so like that could be fun. I know that the audiobook for this is currently available on Box, so I could do like a cheeky read while I don't know why I'm miming reading. You know what reading looks like. I could do a cheeky read and listen to the audiobook because I feel like that is always fun and keeps me focused. Okay, let's do that. We have 8 hours left. This is 356. That sounds doable. Okay, I'm gonna start this and I'll check in with you when I have some thoughts. All right, we are currently at we pretty much exactly have 5 hours left, just dipped under. And I'm on page 119 of One of Us is Lying. Honestly, I thought I'd read more than that. That's like not even a third. I've been outside and I don't know what it is about being outside. I just feel like I read really slowly. I get very like immersed outside, like, but not in the book, which I should. I get very immersed in like listening to the birds and like staring off into the distance. I don't know, I just don't read very fast outside. So I've decided to move back in because, as I say, we've got 5 hours left, which is absolutely doable to finish the rest of this book. We've got like 240 pages left in 5 hours. Oh, I'm at the point in the video where I can't be bothered to do math, so I don't know if that sounds doable to me. I'm reaching the point of this challenge, which always happens, where I'm a bit like, literally, why am I doing this? What is the point? It's fine. It's fine. I'm enjoying the book though. It's like I think I said before, it's like a YA mystery, and it's basically all of these kids were in a detention and then one of them died. So it is definitely Breakfast Club vibes. Interestingly, I feel like normally with like mystery or like thriller books, I feel like I have so many theories of like who it could have been, and I'm kind of like, there's only really 4 suspects, right? Like it only really could have been one of them, and I'm kind of like, I feel like it couldn't have been any of them, but like obviously it was one of them, so I don't know, unless it was the teacher, but I feel like that would be, I kind of hope it's not that. I don't think it will be. I don't know, I just like, I don't know. I feel like it couldn't have been any of them. Anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading and I'll check in with you in a little bit. I have a bit of a confession to make. It is 2 days later. I did finish a 24-hour readathon. Technically, I actually had 35 minutes left on the timer, and I probably could have started another book, but I was so done with reading at that point. I was so over it. Like, I enjoy filming these videos, but it hits a point where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I finished One of Us Was Lying, and I had 35 minutes left on the timer, and I took a little nap. And I was going to wrap up after that, and then I had to go to work. And I worked until 3 a.m. So I got home at like 4 a.m. and I was like, well, I'm not wrapping up right now. So then I was like, I'll wrap up the next day. And then I went book shopping, and then I came back and slept, and here we are. Should we wrap up? I wrote some notes on this so that I didn't forget. So I wrote, at 2/3 through, I said, still no idea. I feel like all the characters... I clearly was a bit delusional at this point. I've written, I feel like all of the characters. What does that mean? I think I meant to say I like all of the characters, like I like them as people. Because I then said I'll be sad if any of them did it. Basically, you know, I think I did say this in the video, but you know, like normally when you're reading a mystery, you have like theories of like, oh, it's going to be this person or it's going to be this person. Literally the whole way through, I was like, I don't see it being any of these people. And I was like, so who's it going to be? It's going to break my heart either way. But the twist at the end, did not see that coming. Very fun, very clever. There was like I guess like a kind of quite small romance subplot going on, which was like a roller coaster at the end. It was fun, and because I know there's a second book, I think it follows the same characters, although now I've said that out loud, maybe it follows completely different characters. But if it does follow the same characters, I want more of that. I did finish this in the 24 hours. I ended up kind of lying like flat on my back and just listening to the audiobook by the end. The issue with this 24-hour readathon is whatever I read last, I am so over the readathon by that point. I'm so over it. So I did enjoy the book, but I also just wanted to be outside. Yeah, I finished it via audiobook, and then immediately went to sleep, and then immediately went to work, and then went book shopping, and now we're here. So, you know, sorry, it is a bit of a chaotic end to the readathon, but we did read 3 books in this 24 hours, which was fun. It made a nice dent into this month's TBR, and I'm never doing this again. No, I'm sure, I say this every time, and I probably will. I'm sure I will do it again. I need a little break, because these videos are so intense. Because you literally do nothing other than read, and I end up getting headaches, and like I don't talk to anyone for 24 hours. It's just weird, and I have not picked up a book since. I mean, it's only been like 2.5 days, but like that's quite unusual for me. I literally haven't read a single page, which is great. I'm not in a slump per se. I'm just don't want to read. Anyway, sorry, this has been a bit of a rambly, chaotic outro, but thank you very, very much for watching. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, you should subscribe. We have fun here. I would love to have you. And there are fun videos coming up, so the button is literally right there. Anyway, thank you very, very much for sticking around, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Love you lots. Bye!